Hi, you guys. Thank you for listening. This is Shauna. So I wanted to ask Spirit, um, what you needed to know. All right. What do you need to know at this point in time in your life? If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, this is for you. Okay. Now, it talks about growth. All right. That there is an encouragement for the population to grow, for everybody to grow. So many times, I don't know about you guys, but we take the easier way out instead of going after what we really want, right? How many times have you taken a job just because it pays the bill, but it's not really what you want, right? You go to work every day and you are struggling with getting up in the morning. You hate the fact that you have to sit by a coworker who won't shut up, right? Or you're dealing with a coworker who won't just get over it already, right? Sometimes you deal with coworkers who are toxic, narcissistic. If things aren't all about them, they're creating problems that there weren't there before, right? Um, I'm going to be honest with you. When you are facing that stuff, it's because you're doing a job you're not meant to do anymore. You're supposed to find a different way, an unconventional way. We need to stop living based off what society and expects us to, right? We're no longer in the 1980s, 1990s before the computers and internet. And I'm not saying that there was no internet back then and no computers, but we're talking about this technology day and age, right? The space that we can do an AI video if we want and make money off it, right? We have the opportunity to listen to others and to be invited into other people's lives online. And those people who are doing this are making money, correct? And one of the biggest issues is people deal with doubt. They don't think that they can achieve what that person achieved, but you can. Okay. Some of my biggest, I'm going to give you a story about what I was dealing with. I was dealing with this one paralegal, 5 years ago. She wasn't doing her work. She was sitting there shopping for makeup instead of doing her job. And things started getting dismissed. And she was blaming me for it, believe it or not. And they believed her. Mind you, after I left, things were still getting dismissed. So now who she was blaming, right? I'm sure she was trying to blame somebody else. Anyways, I had found out, fast forward a couple years later, that when she left, she didn't have any billables for 4 months, which means she wasn't doing any work. I'm starting to think she was taking credit for my work because for some odd reason I had no time when I left. I know I had a lot of time because I did all my work. So, you know, now fast forward, a few years later, after I found out about that, I realized that she got in trouble with the law. Okay, she's been fired multiple times at other law firms, and she can't hold a job down. Okay, she's got a lot of legal problems right now, so ultimately she's getting her karma. Right? She didn't get anything ahead. She might have gotten ahead for a short time. Sure, go for it. She might have ruined my reputation at that moment in time, but it doesn't follow you forever. And at some point, people just forget about you. Let's just face it. People just don't think about you anymore. Um, so, and mind you, and I'm going to go in more deeper, okay, because karma is real, okay? So I was working for this one attorney in the same law firm, and while I was dealing with her, he was playing all these mind games and not doing his work and not doing his billables to the point where the law firm eventually had to lay me off. I lost my job because he wasn't doing his billables. The paralegal didn't make things easy for me, and I think she was also responsible for me losing my job. But ultimately, if he was doing his job, he could have spoke up for me, but he didn't, and he'd rather sit there and give work to other people so he could sit there on Facebook and do nothing. Mind you, about 3, 4 years later, after all this happened, he got suspended from practicing law, and he's now an Uber driver. And he claims to be happy, but he's also been evicted. He's got lawsuits against him. So is he doing better than me? No, he's not. Um, you know, things were tough back then, But looking back, I realized how protected I was when they gave me the out. When I lost my job, yes, it was difficult. But you want to know what else I found out about that law firm? The HR manager was stealing money. Okay. Um, so you have three bad eggs in one law firm, and by the way, that is law, that is legal. I don't know about all firms, but every firm I've ever been in, there's been some toxic coworker or employer. But I didn't see it then. I didn't understand why I couldn't keep a job. I love doing legal. I love doing the work. I love being a paralegal, but I realized how protected I was because when I lost my job, I was being protected from dealing with all that stuff that happened after I'd left. Supposedly, after I left, the whole firm just really went downhill even faster than it was. In fact, it was going downhill when I first started working there. That should have been a red flag. There's so many revolving doors at jobs, and you know, you have to ask yourself why. What is wrong with this job that makes people want to leave? Chances are there's something to do with management or the people that work there. Okay. And so when you lose a job or you don't get what you want, thank God for it. Be happy that you were given something that wasn't good for you because that means you're protected, right? And that's how you grow. Don't allow the fact that you lost your job to take down your self-esteem or your confidence, right? Because ultimately if you didn't keep a job, it's not about you. As long as you went to work every day and you did your work, if they let you go but you still did your best, then you are far more advanced than anybody else, right? I see it all the time. I literally see it all the time where somebody lost a job compared to others who weren't doing theirs. And it's just not worth the hassle of trying to prove to a company that doesn't even see your worth that you're worth this. The important thing is you see your own worth, right? Pick up the pieces and move on. Don't think about all the chaos that went in the past. Just accept it for what it really is. Understand that you were protected at that moment in time from things that you couldn't see. Okay. Now, when I lost my job at that law firm, I didn't know about the HR manager stealing money. I suspected it because she had made a comment to me that I kind of like looked at her sideways, like, you could not be. Are you really doing this? But I had no proof, and there's nothing I take to the higher ups. She just made a comment to me. I needed a credit card to pay some court filing fees, and she goes, "Oh, I gotta make sure I give you the right the right card because these cards are the same, and I accidentally went to Costco on the firm's credit card." Well, for starters, if you have somebody else's credit card, you're going to make sure that you keep those separate, right? Mind you, the firm's credit card was sitting in an envelope different from hers. So she would know the difference. But, that those are her little lies that she tells. And now she's no longer in HR, by the way. She lost her job. And in fact, when this all came out, she was getting ready to go to another law firm. And when it came out that what they found out about her because she took like for I forgot how much. I think it's like $20,000 in cash or 40,000 is like a lot of money. She took the cash and ran with it. And the firm found out the minute she left, and somehow or another her new employer found out, and they did not accept her in, and she lost that opportunity. So, she get her own karma. And just mind you, understand that karma will come back around. These people have to face what they did. And it's not about you delivering it to them. It's not about revenge. Sometimes you just gotta send someone away, give them the love, and say, you know what, I hope the best for you. Because at some point in time, what you put out there is gonna come back to you times three. Mind you, okay, look at the paralegal I worked with. She could barely hold down the job. The attorney could no longer be an attorney anymore. Now he's driving for Uber, you know, barely making any money because there's not much money here in Arizona. Not not where we are. So, he's struggling, right? So is she. Guess what? I can sit here and officially say that when you don't get what you want, you're blessed because that means you're protected. right? Instead of feeling, you need to change your perspective on a lot of things. Change your perspective on the whys. Change your perspective on, I didn't get it. Why do they keep their job and I don't? Because I was like that. I was angry. I was angry at what happened, what I went through, because I was there telling him, look, she's not doing her job and things are about to be dismissed. You're not listening to me. And, let them. Because ultimately that firm ended up having to go to another law firm because they couldn't keep the doors open. All right. Um, Trust me, uh, eventually what comes around goes around. Okay. Nobody ever gets to keep what they want. And I say that because it was a dream I had. I had asked Spirit, because, you can ask Spirit guides for a message. And I had asked my Spirit guides, I said, why do hard workers not get to keep what they want? And why is it people can go around and lie and hurt people's reputations and they're all walking around on High Street? They're doing good. People are scammed out of the money. And what Spirit told me was, those who work hard for it get to keep it, but those who cheat the system don't. Think about that, right? I really want you to think about that. So the harder you work for something, the longer you can keep it, the more it will be there for you. It's a foundation that you're building, but those who cheat the system, who take from the innocent, eventually will lose what they stole. Okay? Now, and what I was also told was, don't worry, whatever you lost, you're going to get back more. You will get back what you lost. You're not going to lose it forever. Okay, so I want you to keep that in the back of your mind when things are going bad at work or things are going bad in your life. I mean, if somebody leaves, or they, say somebody breaks it off with you, breaks a relationship off, thank them. Thank you for being honest with you. Thank them for not, leading you on and going behind your back and cheating on you, right? And if somebody did cheat on you, just give them the love and move on, because now you know who they are. That's a blessing. To finally see somebody or a situation for what it really is a blessing. It's just a different perspective. Okay, so back on this card. So I got the first card, which is growth. Talks about, growing your creativity. Talks about finding what makes you passionate, what makes you happy, what um what makes you wake up in the morning and think to yourself, today is a great day. If you're working a job and you don't have that, one second, I'm gonna get a sip of tea. Anyways, if you're working a job and you don't have that feeling every morning, you might want to start looking for something better before you quit your job. Don't quit it first. But if you get laid off, then pursue your dreams. So it also talks about collaboration, teamwork, going after, finding people who have the same beliefs as you. I remember, and the sad thing is, I lost all my friends to death, you guys. It was kind of it's been a bad 4 years for me. Um, 2020 was the hardest year of my life because I lost the majority of my friends then. But, I met these people, and it was through an organization, and they were such awesome people. I clicked with them, and we would talk every day, for years, for 10 years. I would talk to these ladies. They would text me. They would check up on me, and they were such good people. We used to meet once a week before I left California, and I miss them dearly every day. And if I had known they were going to die when they did, I never would have left California. I would have spent every moment of time there. But I left California for a new opportunity, and I regret it, believe it or not. But right, it is what it is. It's a lesson. I learned a valuable lesson about being grateful for what I have at that moment in time. Okay, because you never know when it's going to be taken from you. So, anyways, you have to find people who are uh, your people. Somebody who you can just be yourself with. Somebody who, where if you're sitting there being quiet, they're not asking you what's wrong. They're just being quiet with you, right? Um, if you're upset, they're not telling you you're sensitive. They're telling you things are going to be just fine, and they're giving you encouraging words. Those are real friends. So you need to find people who give you that support you need. Okay? Doesn't mean that, somebody should be there 24/7, doting over you and giving you everything you need, but it's okay to rely on somebody once in a while, for that emotional support, because it's so important that you get that. Okay? The other thing is surprise. There's a surprise coming in. I just see a surprise coming in for a lot of you guys. I see the number 6, 7, and then 6. So I really see like a new cycle beginning for a lot of you guys. And it's going to start like around this month sometime, November 21st, I heard. Well, that's interesting because Pluto leaves Capricorn. And that's why I'm expecting things to get better for a lot of people. And it comes up in a reading, go figure. Who would have thought, right? What I'm seeing is that you guys need to remember that you are being supported by spirit, regardless if you see it or not. Spirit is around you 24/7, never leaves your side. Okay? The only time spirit leaves your side is if you're being ridiculous, okay? And let's just be realistic about that. Some people don't deserve spirit. Some people can't be happy enough for spirit. Now, there's something else, I don't want this video to be too long, but there's also, stop trying to carry the world on your shoulders. You're too amazing to follow everyone else. Forge your own path. Okay, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. Listen to this message. I hope this, this is what you need to know at this moment in time. You guys take care. Thank you for listening, and I'm going to end this recording right here. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.